Welcome to Sheep School. Lambing 2023 has commenced. Chaotic enough, very busy night last night. We've about 35 lamb here at the minute, maybe 40. It's hard to keep count. Lambing pens are pretty much full. The weather's not great. Normally I'd be getting them out fairly sharpish, but weather isn't great. Snow last night, hail today. But look, we're not complaining. We're going to get something out today regardless. We've a few lambs hardened up. We're going to get them out later. But shed is pretty full, as you can see. We're well packed in here. We've some lambs with yos in the pens. But once they're mothered up, I'm not too bothered. We're so full out in the lambing pens that we had to set up a few pens here. We've set the triplets here. One little lad trying to escape here. We'll just pull him back into his mammy. We had a set of triplets last night, and I would say a little bit early, harmless little lambs. There's two of the lambs. One of them I had to warm up, but they are pretty harmless little lambs now, in fairness to them. There's two. I'll show you the third one now in a minute, but Maria's just doing a job here. She's actually milking the ewe for me. I have her in the headlock here, which is handy. Headlock is handy here for keeping the ewe quiet. So Maria's just at her ease here, milking away. And when we get enough milk, we're going to stomach tube these lambs or bottle feed them. I don't know which. Stomach tubing is probably the handiest. That's two of the lambs. I'll show you the third one here. He's in my hot box. I generally wouldn't use a hot box too much, but they're small little lambs, and they were very weak at themselves, and a cold wind coming in through the ventilated sheeting. So they were hypothermic. They were cold this morning there. So I set up this device here. Very simple thing. Old coat up on top here. So it's just an old plastic barrel. Red light, and you see my little lamb in there. That's the other triplet. He was actually lying stretched out this morning and shivering and very cold, so he's been in there for a couple of hours. He's nice and warm. He's ready for a feed, stomach tubing. So you see more lambs in here, two in here. Have to get something out. Everything packed. Right, Maria has a jug of milk here. We're going to tube these lambs now. She got a nice little drop there from that sheep. 300 ml, that's enough to do probably two of these little small lambs. So we do the lad that's in the barrel. He didn't get anything yet. So he was, there he's up, he's standing. So he was a very sad case this morning. Just lift him up here now. Come on, little lammy. Yeah, he's nice and warm there. Nice and warm. So we'll get him tubed now. So I think 50 millilitres per kilogram is the recommended amount of colostrum in the first the first feed. Sorry, the first feed, yeah. So we'll just split this between the two lambs. I think Maria got 300 millilitres in the jug there. Now, so we give him 150. Now, I just hold my finger on the end of the tube when you're withdrawing it, because if you don't, the milk actually runs out of it. You see when I let my finger go off it, the milk actually runs out of it. So as you're drawing the tube out, milk actually can go down into their lungs, and you'll cause pneumonia, and you'll hear them rattling, and it's probably not the best possible start. So I do find the stomach tube is a great job to introduce E. coli into the stomach. Cleaning it is pretty important. I find a dirty tube, you tube a lamb with a dirty tube, you'll be sure you'll have watery mouth in 24 hours. So I like to give it a good wash, and always stick it in boiling water. It's a good way of sterilising it. Now, get him back with his mammy. Now, there you go. Now you'll see the This triplet is lambing. This is the one that had the prolapse rope on. We're a bit late getting the rope off, but it's fine. She should lamb away without it. So she has a lamb coming. We'll just give her a bit of a hand here. There you go. She's walking away herself. Come on. Come on. There we go. We'll just take off this prolapse rope here now. It's a good lamb. I'm not sure if you can hear that on the roof. It's a tremendous hailstorm and we're trying to get sheep and lambs out, but something's going to have to go out after lunch. So I hope it's just a passing shower. So this actually, if you're wondering what the rope is, this is the one from the pre-lambing problem video we done and the sheep that prolapse. This is the rope I put on to retain the prolapse. So we'll just take it off now and actually throw that lamb up with her. She can be licking him now. So this lady would actually lamb herself because the head and 2 feet are coming. Presentation is perfect, but we'll just take this other lamb. You just like to clear the nose even before the umbilical cord is broke, so it gives them a good chance for that first breath. Come on. There we go. Shake of the head. Now, throw him up there. Now, I see a triplet here. Just making nice and steady progress. I see a foot and a nose. So, the plan is, I see a single down here. In the singles pen, and she is on similar, yeah, that's her there now. She's in a similar stage. So we're going to take one of the triplets now, drop it in front of her just before she lambs, and hopefully she'll take to it and give it a go. Now I have just 1 foot and a head. And because she's not too far on in labour, I'm just going to push the lamb back in and lift the other leg and pull him then. There we go. We've got 2 legs now and a nose. So we'll just take this lamb now. We'll get him moved on to the single that's lambing down here. Lovely, good healthy sign. Now, that is a ewe lamb, so I'd rather leave the ewe lamb with its mammy, so I'll put the ewe lamb up here. And we'll go again and see if I can find a ram lamb. No head coming, so I have to go back for the head here. There we go. That's the head up now. Now, nice little ram lamb. So I'm going to let her lick her first lamb. I'm going to take this ram lamb and stick it onto the single down here. And we leave the triplet in her for now, give her a chance to lick her first lamb. So we'll just bring this lamb down now. So you'll see here the single is coming. I can see a head and 1 foot, so we have to intervene here. But we'll give her this lamb here for now. I'm going to give her a hand. I should really have these in an individual pen, but we're tight for space, so we're going to lamb her in here for now. We have to put a few out and clear a bit of space, but we'll get this wet fostering done for now and get them moved into a pen after. Now, easy as that. So she's just found a wet lamb in the pen and she's claiming it as her own. So you just can't beat the wet foster, and it's handiest of them all. I would say 95% success rate with a wet foster, maybe higher, especially when you're working with 2 lambs. The foster crate, generally you get 1 lamb alright, but it takes time. The wet foster is pretty quick, but then it's always hard to get them at the right time. But anyway, too much talking, I better get this head sorted out here. The big lamb. Ah yeah, there we go. Lovely, that's what you want to hear. So he's a big ram lamb, he's quite a big strong lamb. These singles are in the shed and they're getting a very, very small amount of meal. Don't stand on him. So the only meal they're actually getting is half a pound per day, and that's only for the last few days. When they come in first, I didn't give them any meal, but I thought if I'm going to be doing this wet fostering, I'd better give them something. It kind of settles them as well, because a lot of young sheep here that would have never seen meal anyway, so it'll leave them ready for next year when they come into the shed. But he's a big lamb for just off grass. He's a strong lamb. That's the triplet here, and that's the single. Just give you a look at the difference in the size of them. He is quite a big single. He's a brute. He's a big lamb. Look, hopefully everything goes to plan. Yeah, lovely big bag of milk. Should be well fit to feed them too. So, wee trick for you that I use, mightn't be everyone's cup of tea, but you see this triplet here. That's the one we took the lamb off and put onto the single. Her third lamb is coming. You see the bag of fluid is there. I'm going to try and catch it. Maria's going to do a bit of camera work here. I'll see if I can catch it before the bag busts. Go down there. Go down there. So it mightn't be everyone's cup of tea, but this stuff here, I call it liquid gold. If I have a dry lamb, maybe one of the pet lambs on the feeder that I want to foster on, so I just tie the lamb's legs. If you have a dry lamb, tie his legs and stick him onto the yoda, maybe after losing lambs. So, wee tip for you. Mightn't be everyone's cup of tea, but works for me. So this is Maria's lamb that she got onto the feeder. He is flying on it. That's the lad we just put on yesterday, the first lamb on it. So I think we have a home for him. We collected that bucket of juice, liquid gold. So what we're going to do is tie his legs, cover him in juice. It's actually still warm, so it'll not leave him very cold. We have a single lamb. She fired him out very, very quickly. So we're going to tie his legs and see if she'll take to him. So we have the bucket of liquid gold. I'm not sure if you can see the steam still coming off it. It's still warm. So the plan is I'm going to tie this lad's legs Now I'm using insulating tape. Cable ties are probably better, but time is scarce, so I'm not going to start rooting them out. If you're using insulating tape for anything, don't put it too tight. It's good for stopping the blood supply. So the reason that I tie his legs is because you're trying to fool the mother that he's a fresh lamb. If he stands up and starts walking around, she's not going to be as easily fooled. So the best job is tie his legs, and she'll lick him. When I get this liquid gold on him, she'll lick him, and hopefully they'll bond together. So we'll see how it goes. We'll try it here. Now, so you'll see the ewe behind me there. She has her single, loves him, she's licking away at him. So I'm going to cover this lad in this bucket of juice. Still nice and warm, so it won't leave him cold and shivery. Now, the only thing I'll say about this is if you have a problem with Enzo or some of the other abortion issues, it's a great way of spreading it, especially if you're taking this from a ewe that has weak lambs or has dead lambs. It's a great way of spreading it. So I wouldn't recommend it taking it from a ewe that hasn't healthy lambs. Now, he is nicely covered in juice, so we'll give him a go here, see how it goes. Get some of his own juice on as well. Now, so it might work, it might not. It's 50-50. It's not the end of the world because I have this lad trained on the, or sorry, Maria has him trained on the feeder. So if it doesn't work, he can go back on the feeder. But it's worth a try because there's a lot more profit getting him onto a ewe rather than leaving him on the feeder. So she's a bit confused, but might work. We'll give it a go. I just wanted to show you here how the thing has gone. So it's 2 days later. So it is a bit of a mismatch. So here's little Lammy here. You see I have him numbered up. It's number 19 and I put an F on the lamb. So then I know that that's a foster lamb. And I put a 19 on Mammy and put an F on her. It's not a great F. So you done that, Maria, no? No, it was me that done that. I can't blame anyone else. So I think it's successful. Come on. Yeah, she's taking him. He's sucking away. He's thriving. You'll see there she's letting him suck. So, yeah, it's a mismatch. Again, it's a mismatch. Big lump for single with a triplet. A handy enough little triplet. But look, if she's plenty of milk, should be okay. We'll get the lamb up to weaning. He might be a little bit smaller than maybe if there were a better matched team. But look, anything's better than putting them on the feeder. So, it's important to keep an eye on them because I found them maybe a week, even a week, 2 weeks after that fostering job, she could say, no, don't love him anymore, and you'll see her walking away from him in the field. And it's not an obvious thing where she's beating him around the field. Just every time the lamb goes for a suck, he'll walk away. She'll walk, she'll take a couple of steps on, and then the lamb won't get fed. So that F kind of just gives you a reminder to keep a better eye on them when you're checking them in the field. That's it for this one, folks. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. Drop us a line if you have any comments or questions. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.